Hey, this is Matteo Lane.
I'm Emma Willman.
And this is Inside the Closet.
Inside the Closet.
I don't even know how to catch up with you.
And we're back.
What do we? When was the last time we left off? Because it was Robin, but then I went to Vegas and New Orleans.
Yeah, so let's
so
start
I have
with...
so much to talk about.
Yeah, I want to hear all about it because I don't even know what's going on with me, except for there is one thing that Carly Aquilino, our friend, said as an idea. And at first I was like, what? And then I was like, oh my God. And it's kind of crazy. But she said, she was like, you and Matteo should have a baby. Not to put you on the spot.
No offense, but I wouldn't trust you with a plant. I mean, I wouldn't trust either one of us with a plant.
I guess that means I'd have to be the one that would get pregnant.
I would hope so, because was it going to be me?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that
You
part.
don't seem like the pregnant type.
No.
Like if you were, okay, let's say you find the love of your life.
Yeah.
You're in a relationship.
She's taking that baby.
Yeah, but let's say she can't. Let's say she has an issue and she can't. And the only way to have a child is if you get pregnant.
Here's how I would do it.
I can't imagine you.
I would do it only if I could go be on some secluded island where no one could see me. Because a big part of it is I wouldn't want anyone to see me in such a feminized position. Because it's like so womany that I would feel weird. Like I would do it if it was like in the private of my own home, and I wouldn't. Yeah, that's how I would do it.
So you'd be like furious to be pregnant because there's no island in this situation.
But also, I'm like. I would be worried about me, all the like the hormones and the ups and downs and like being healthy, like eating right. I don't.
A better
you
question.
Would be so much better at carrying the baby.
I would never want to carry a child.
You're in such good shape.
Ever.
You're in such good shape, and you're disciplined with all my mental problems. I'm already worried about the kid.
Would you want a kid?
Since I've been getting to spend time with my sister's baby, it makes me I love the baby.
Yeah, but think about, you get to see that baby. You and the baby are the highlight of each other's day.
Yes.
But imagine that baby at 2 a.m. screaming and crying. You can't go on the road. You can't do this. You can't be selfish.
That's the thing. I could. There's no way I could have a kid now. I'm so far from even being able to like conceptually. I'm hanging on by a thread.
I don't think you just got a Canadian Goose jacket. I don't think you're hanging on by a thread.
It's a knockoff.
It is
that
true.
I got for $50 at a shady store where they made me pay cash.
Did they speak Spanish there?
No, they said in English, we don't speak any English. And I was like, all right, well, you just spoke English. And then they were like, no English. And I was like, got it. And then
where was this?
It was in Chinatown.
Oh, I see.
So like I can't bring a baby into that. But so Carly had said that idea.
Carly, I love you, but that's a terrible idea.
Maybe you and her could have a baby.
She'd have to take care of it. I mean, I'll donate the sperm.
You
donate the sperm like it's like some big thing.
It is a big thing.
I donate your sperm to a Kleenex every day.
They would be honored to have your sperm, I feel. You could sing.
It depends.
I think that's like grade A sperm right there, I would imagine. But... So that was something I wanted to say. I guess we'll shelve that idea.
I mean, I would hope so. I think financially and mentally, neither one of us can even slightly comprehend. You know what we could do is what they do in high school, and they get like those fake babies that they have to take care of for a week, and it cries, and you have to like put a key in it and turn it. I threw mine under a pile of laundry.
You know what would happen? I would probably get emotionally attached to the fake baby. Like I would be like, think it's like my real, like I'd get confused. Like that, like, you know how people are.
You would not get confused.
I think I would. I think I'd be like, oh my God, the baby has feelings. And then I'd be like.
It's a robot.
I know. But like those, have you seen the sex robots? Have you seen those?
No, but I saw that one robot who has like a silver head.
I haven't seen that one, but they have robots now that men are buying, and then they like talk a little bit and you can have sex with them.
Fine. I'd rather that than, some horrific situation.
Oh, I completely agree, but I actually totally see the allure in that.
And a robot?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
no,
absolutely.
You don't.
I really, truly 100% do. Because if I could figure out a way to have sex with one of those things, yes.
I'm sure 100%. You could. Well, yeah, how is a lesbian going to have sex with a sex robot?
I could like wear I love like verbal like communication. So if the robot could like,
I think you're doing fine with women. I don't think you need a robot.
But I would want a robot because then it could just be like I could have sex with it whenever I wanted, and I just wanted to. It would be good for my ego. Like it could just be like, you're the best. You're the best. That would be great.
No, I mean, what do you get off when you talk to Siri?
No. No, I don't even have Siri on my phone. I want like
You don't?
I want.
Yeah, you do. You have Siri. You have an Apple.
Well, I haven't had sex with it.
Well, I'm not saying you had sex with it, but
I want to need more positive affirmation in my life, and I think if I could have a sex robot doing that, I think that'd be like really good for me.
I think it's I think this you're showing everyone what horrible decision making skills you have.
Also, they're so expensive.
I mean,
they're like $12,000.
I love how you
and
being pregnant, you'd have to be on a secluded island.
Oh, so I wouldn't want anyone knowing what's going on. And then if they're like, "Who had the baby?" I'd be like, "Matteo had it." They'd be like, "Huh?" Like,
you should never have a child. Thanks, Carly, for
it'd be so cute.
Derailing this conversation.
I picture a little baby with a little Matteo mustache. Like a little baby.
I mean, I did like the Addams Family. Like, but didn't the baby have like a mustache?
Yes.
Yeah. I started getting my mustache when I was like 13.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Is that when you went? I don't know how puberty works for guys.
Well, the same as it does for women. I mean, you're not bleeding, but
right.
You're like, things move and grow. Actually, a lot less happens to men. You just get hair and you can come.
Right.
But obviously you grow really tall. Like your body, like parts of your body grow more than the others. So you're like this weird, fucked up looking monster.
Yeah, and then you see, like, did your voice, like, do the voice cracks?
Yeah, then your
stuff?
voice changes. Your voice begins to drop.
Right.
And then, even though I was still mistaken for my mother on the phone, for me, I went from blonde, like gold blonde hair, to like really dark hair and curly.
Aww.
And then I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to control it. Then I got a mustache. Then my Adam's apple would like knock people off on the street.
When did you start shaving?
Probably like around 14. Just like my little like weird gross mustache.
And then
by like 17, I had like I could get a beard. Like
were you getting attention from girls around then?
I don't think I was ever getting attention from girls. You could sense it.
Right. Well, I told you, and I was like elated that I got hit on Instagram.
Oh, can we talk about that?
Yes,
and then
please.
I have to get to. We have so much to talk about.
And then I want to hear all this stuff because I didn't even know you were in Vegas.
I went to Vegas for 2 days. Nicole, Byer, and Sashir's maid, and I went to Vegas
for fun or for
fun. Well, we went to go see Cher.
My God! Let's just talk about that now, and I'll tell you about getting the hit on.
Well, so Nicole just like a month ago bought tickets to Cher, and then was like, okay, so we're going. Like there wasn't like a kind of a question or like, do you want to go to Vegas? Do I say Cher? It was like, I'm buying the tickets. We're going to see Cher. I was like, oh, you got it. So
that's so fucking fun. I would love to see a Cher concert, especially in Vegas.
Oh well, okay, so.
That's the kind of thing I would never buy, but if someone was like, we're going, then...
The Cher concert was good. I mean, she's 71, so there's a lot of walking and not a lot of dancing. And also, let me just say this. In 2017, if you want to go see the most racist, like, most appropriated show on the face of the planet, I mean, you have to see Cher. She comes out in a full-blown afro.
No.
Yes! And she comes. First of all, she comes down like a glittery bird cage. Comes down, and by the way, there was gays, blacks, everyone in the audience. We all just nodded and agreed because it's Cher. Then she puts on like an Indian. She
comes out in an afro.
Yes, and then she comes down in like an Indian garb, and not like Native American. Indian as in like India.
I remember. Oh.
And then she does the Native American. Well, I literally was going to the bathroom and I heard oh. And I was like, I can't believe where I am right now. But it's Cher, and we all just kind of nod and clap.
Does she know that that's wrong at this point?
I don't think she gives a shit. I mean, she's too busy tweeting at Trump.
Right.
And that's fine. She's doing the Lord's work. Listen, and and Nicole and I were like, I was like, is she wearing an afro? And Nicole's like, she's absolutely... Nicole was brought to tears when she came down.
She just loves her.
She just loves her.
Now, was she singing, or did you think she was lip-syncing?
She sang. She sings. I mean, she's been doing it forever, so she definitely sings. She sounds good. She's 7, and she came out and did like 20 minutes of stand-up.
No.
Yes, she did, and she was like, Sonny, it was like 1965, and it was such a... I remember getting older. I remember feeling I was old. It was my 40th birthday, and a director said, "You're too old." And I was like, my bones aren't up to snuff. I mean, she was just so Methuselah. I mean, at one point I thought she was going to be like, where's my Boniva?
Was she killing it?
Yeah, she killed it.
Were people going nuts?
She did. Yes, and Nicole, all screaming.
Right. I can't believe she came out of
There was 2 lesbians behind us who were great.
Yeah?
There was a group of gays and lesbians behind us. It was a very gay night at Cher's concert.
Were the lesbians, were they cute?
No.
No.
They were exactly...
That's how you can tell they're lesbians, because the cute ones you can't tell.
Oh, the cute ones from far away, I'm like, that guy's got great hair. And then you get close, you're like, it's a woman.
Right. Yeah.
But, okay, so we went to this we went to a bunch of strip clubs. We went to Magic Mike.
Nice.
Which is, women and men have such a different idea of strip.
And have you been to a strip club before?
I've performed in strip clubs forever. But, I mean, it was always male strip clubs for gay men. Which is like, they get straight to the point. Gay men come out.
I didn't even know they had special strip clubs for gay men. I didn't know.
I mean, it's not even a strip club. It's just like it's like places like the lines are all blurred. It's like a go-go boy who's stripping.
I've seen
He's
that.
in a thong. It comes out. You can grab his dick. And,
I've seen that and I remember seeing the penis like very clearly through the underwear.
Yeah, you have to pay the money and then they open it up and they'll let you touch. I know things go down. So and they'll like sit on you and stuff. But so we went and I did not want to go. I did not want to go to a Magic Mike show because Nicole got us another thing. She got us tickets too, and I was forced to go. And we were front row at
She's
this Magic
living her
Mike
best
show.
Life ever.
Well, this whole night was a nightmare because her whole goal was to get fucked. She wanted to be brought on stage and like get like grinded on and all this stuff. But the Magic Mike show is, first of all, it's women. It's all women, right? And I'm like the only guy there,
right?
And they have like there's a story to it. Like there's a woman who hosts it.
That's hilarious.
There's music.
That there's a story to it. They've just got the guy coming out and like doing the dishes and talking about his feelings. Like that's
honestly, it's kind of like that. The story was based around one of the waiters, in quotations. His name was Mike. So like I never saw Magic Mike, whatever. But for some reason, she kept like referring to him as like a unicorn. I don't know, but she kept being like. She's like, all right, Mike, get up here. And then Mike would come out and I know he was supposed to be acting like he was, like he didn't know what was going on and he was shy, but he really seemed on the spectrum.
Did he look like Channing Tatum?
Not at all.
No.
Oh, Channing Tatum did a voiceover.
Really?
Which even at the by the way, women were just losing their shit.
I mean, I
like
love
he was
him.
like, hey ladies. I was screaming and I was like, what is, oh, by the way, it's Sashir, by the way. Screaming the whole time.
Really?
Into it, screaming, yelling. And at one point, Nicole got so pissed because, she wanted to be brought on stage, she wanted to be fucked. She wanted to be brought on stage, she wanted to be fucked.
Right.
So at one point, they recognized Sashir, run up to her,
oh, no.
grab her, and then we're like, where did Sashir go? And then, like, above, because it was a beautiful show. Like, it was a high budget, There's a spinning.
So this isn't like strip pole, strippers out, you're eating and drinking.
No, it's like dancing and there's a story and stuff. And so at one point, they're high above the stage. There's a spinning piano, a spotlight. The guy's playing piano. Sashir is sitting on top of the piano, dancing to it. I look back. Nicole is holding a gauntlet of vodka, sobbing. I have it on video, screaming, I just wanted to get fucked. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, a waiter comes up and hands me a sheet of paper and says, so and so, one of the dancers, wants you to call him after the show.
And how did he see you? He just saw you.
Saw me I'm just sitting in the front row,
right?
And so Nicole starts crying harder.
Oh
no! So I'm like, well, of course I gotta call this guy, right?
Of course.
So like I text him, I was like, hey, great show.
Did you have any idea which one it was?
Yes, because he came up at the end in his underwear and like gave me a lap dance.
Are you serious?
Yes, in front of everyone.
That's awesome.
I know.
That's so cool.
And Nicole
did you
still,
feel self-conscious that like people were watching?
Yeah,
you get the lap
I'm
dance?
not good. I like didn't want to go. I was like bashful. I was like shy.
I feel so uncomfortable when they're doing the lap dance. I had a girl came up and did the lap dance to me, but she was in a strip club and I paid her, so it's different.
Right.
But I felt so weird because I was like, what do I do? I was like really stiff, and she was like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, you're doing a great job. Like, what am I? Do I put my hands on your hips? What do I do?" And she's like, "You're not supposed to, but you can." So then maybe they tell everyone that, but then I like put my hands on her hips. Then she's like wiggling around, and I was like, all right, you're doing a great job. And she was like, okay. And then I just kind of freaked out, and she had a lazy eye, so I felt bad. I didn't want her to think I didn't like it because of the lazy eye. So I felt bad, and I gave her all my cash because I didn't know the going rate.
Emma!
And it was for my friend's bachelorette party, so I probably gave her like $200. And then she was like stalking me the rest of the night. My friend was like, what is up with this? Like, how much money did you pay her? And I was like, I gave her like $200. And she was like, the lap dances are $25.
Well, Guy Brannon bought me a lap dance in Portland once, and the guy, I think, was still coming off of crystal meth and was dancing on me, and I didn't know what to say, so I just was like, so, going to college? So I said, well, I'm getting a strip club. And by the way, I thought there was going to be a whole stripper room.
Right.
He just pulled out a chair in the corner of the bar.
This is in Portland?
This is in Portland.
Oh,
but in
wow.
Vegas. Oh, and then I went home with the guy. The
Vegas.
dancer. Yeah.
So he's dancing on you, and you're like into it.
I mean, he was so hot. We talked after the bar, and then the next night was like,
what did you say? Like,
home.
how did you guys start talking? Like, what did you talk about?
Just, like, hi, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. What are you doing here? I'm not really good in conversation, so I just kind of nodded. I was a little drunk.
Right.
And then, Nicole and Sashi were laughing.
And what was Nicole doing while you were talking to the guy?
They went to a restaurant and got French fries.
Nice.
And so then I went home with him, watched an episode of Charmed.
Nice. How did Charmed come up?
I don't know. It was like, do you want to watch, you turn on the TV and you want to watch something.
Did he have a nice place? Or what was his place
It was fine. I mean, it's Vegas. He had a giant mirror next to his bed. So that's always a sign of like.
Yeah, he does this regularly.
Uh-huh.
So it felt
But it was great. It was great sex.
Oh, I love that.
By the way, I feel really bad talking about this because there's this guy I'm chatting with right now who's like, I started listening to your podcast.
Son of a bitch.
And I immediately was like, you have to stop.
Yeah, you have to stop right now.
Isn't that horrible?
No, I think it's a relationship ruiner. I'm like, it's like Pandora's box. It's like either you can get to know me or you can hear every single thing I ever thought in my entire life. I had an ex that messaged me and was like, I'm going to start listening. And I was like, I'd prefer if you didn't.
I would prefer if they didn't too, but then there's like a thing where it's like, and I have to be like,
well, because then they're going to be like, wait, why don't you want me to listen? And be like, I don't know. Just, because then if I know that you're fucking listening, all I'm going to talk about is like saying I did a bunch of volunteer work. You're going to listen to an episode and it's going to be me being like, just worked out for 4 hours, volunteered with some kids, and going to go read the Bible. Or
please.
I'm going to lie to make myself sound better. Something.
I went to Thunder Down Under and that was just as bad of a show.
That was another
Actually, that was a terrible show. Magic Mike was good. Thunder Down Under was really bad.
I have a question about you having sex with a guy. Mm-hmm. So you guys have sex. Mm-hmm. It goes well. Mm-hmm. And then how do you leave it?
I think it was just like, okay, bye.
So there's no... Because if I have good sex...
That's it. I did feel bad. I was like, okay, I need to not do this. I need to start looking for relationships.
But does it seem like that was just it for both of you? Neither of you had... Because I feel like if I have good sexual connection with someone, I want to talk to them.
Well, he's a stripper in Vegas.
Right. Did he ask you... Did he know you were a comedian?
I told him. I'm sure now after Guys We Fucked in this, he's not going to be happy that I'm talking about it.
So, I mean, do you think he'll actually look your stuff up?
I doubt he has any interest in me outside of my body.
Right. That's so fun. You had good sex,
which makes me feel great.
No, but that's good.
I love feeling used.
I felt so good when that guy hit on me on Instagram.
Can we read the messages?
Yes, we can.
What did he say? He was like, I'm sort of into bi women or something.
No. So here's what happened. Men,
has he seen you?
Listen. I've been hit on. The other time I got hit on by a guy, it's been 3 times. So the first time I was on a date with this girl. Her name was Rasha.
Her name was Rasha?
Rasha. Beautiful Saudi Arabian, like really stunning. And she actually was deaf and she could only read
Not the tiger
lips.
from Aladdin?
No, just me and a stuffed animal, like crying in a corner.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past you.
This is my original robot. But she was like just awesome. And we were at this bar and the waiter comes over and goes, this guy over there bought you guys drinks. And I was like, for both of us? And he was like, yeah, he got you one and her one. And I was like, oh my God, that's so nice. And then she rolled her eyes like, ugh, because this happens to her all the time. And
boo-hoo.
Right. And so I look around and there's an old guy in a corner with a cowboy hat on sitting alone. So I go, him, and the waitress goes, yeah. And so I cheers him and I go, thanks a lot, buddy. Like, I'll get you one too. And then Rasha's like, don't. So then he comes over and is like, oh, like, how are you ladies doing? And then she's like, we're not interested. We're on a date. And I was like, she doesn't mean to be rude, but we are on a date. Did you get the drinks because you thought like you were interested in one of us? And he was like, yeah, I just wanted to like say hi. And I was like, oh, that's really nice of you. You know, we are on a date actually, but keep putting yourself out there. This is a great way to meet people.
Emma, I can't...
So he leaves, and she's like, do you not get hit on very much? And I was like, why? And she's like, you just gave him, like, a pep talk.
You did.
Yeah.
It's so belittling
and she's like, also, he's, like, 60 and not attractive. Like, never in a fucking million years should he be sending 20-year-olds drinks. And I was like, all right, well, what do we do with the drinks? And she's like, we drink them. So that was time number 1. Time number 2, I was having coffee with this guy who was trying to, like, get into stand-up. And then he asked me, he goes, you know what I really like is I like it when lesbians fuck me with strap-ons.
What?
And I was like...
He said this out loud in a coffee shop?
Yep, to me. And then he like kind of did footsie. And I was like, are you hitting on me right now? Because I'm autistic. And he goes... he was like, would you ever be interested in that? And I was like, 100% no, but I see where you're coming from, and I totally dig subversive stuff.
Again, you give people a pep talk.
Right.
That's when you say, listen, buddy, I'm not interested, and fuck you for wasting my time. But you're like, listen, buddy, I get it. You put in the hard work. You sat here. You had this conversation. You didn't want to have it. You had a chub the whole time.
You can get a champ. But the thing is because I feel like if a guy is flirting with me, then like that's like such a weird thing. I don't want them to feel like discouraged.
Well, one time I was hit on by a woman when I was working at Blick Art Store, and I like didn't know how to. I was showing her how to do a fashion illustration drawing, And then she was like, her friend was like, hey, are you like, you want to go out sometime? Blah, blah. And I was like, I like don't know. I'm wearing skinny jeans. I have like the emo haircut. I'm showing how to draw women. I'm like, I don't know how to say this, but I'm gay. And her response was, are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty fucking sure.
And you're not going to change my mind, bitch.
And so you certainly won't change my mind.
Wow, that's so
As a matter of fact, I will be gayer than I've ever been before, just to prove you wrong.
I remember one time watching some video of you and Carly like kissed, it, like, you know, just a peck on the lips.
It was hard, yeah.
And immediately you started singing Barbra Streisand or something. Like you broke out into song that you went, "Woo!" Yeah, that was oof. That's why I don't sing. All right, I'm gonna read you guys me getting hit on because I was very
I like how we were...
Did I delete his messages?
I have it saved.
Okay.
I have it saved. You sent it to me. I have it saved. Hold on a second.
Yeah, because I was like cackling the whole time that this guy was.
Can I read it?
Please.
Okay. So first, you sent me the picture of him.
Yep, he sent me a topless photo, which I guess when a man sends that, is it called topless?
I think so.
I always find it hard for me to know how to send sexy pics because the girl one can send anything. They're crossing their legs, their shirt off, and then me, I'm like, what do I send? Like my
you give him another pep talk, Emma. So he goes, I'm guessing you're part of the LGBT community. And you go, of course. He goes, kind of, but not really. I'm bi, but 98% women, only 2% guys. Crazy thing is my type of girls are the ones with your style. Cute, sexy, short hair, and a tomboy. So,
oh, yeah. And I don't even know the last time someone said that to me. So fucking already, he's nicer than anyone I've ever dated.
I mean, honestly,
that's not true,
he's doing pretty good. But then he goes, so are you an up-and-coming comedian or have you been out for a while? Sorry, I just haven't heard of you till now. Comedy's my favorite genre of anything. And then he sent you another picture, and you...
So I'm ignoring him at this point.
Right. And then he sends you, and then you just go, good for you for putting yourself out there. I'm flattered, and I appreciate it. But I'm so gay, it's genderqueer. Your dyslexia is getting the best of you here. I call it gender wiggly.
I was trying to say, thanks for putting yourself out there, but I'm so gay, I'm straight. I'm kind of like gender wiggly.
So I call it gender wiggly. When I have sex, I always like to be... Why are you telling him this? You aren't telling a stranger this. I always like to be seen as a guy or fully as possible. So whatever you are imagining, it wouldn't be.
I'm trying to get the picture out of his head. If he's thinking it's going to be something, the way it would be
You just block him.
Me being... I want him to know I'm the man. I'm the man. I want him to know he in a skirt.
You say this, you go, bye, but thank you, and definitely check out my podcast with Matteo Lane. We talk about this stuff. I'm sure it'd be...
Always promoting, baby. Always promoting. Yeah, I said, just check out my podcast. Maybe he could find a home for, his different tastes. 98% straight, 2% bi. This is the place for him. We can have him on the show.
I don't want him near you. Why don't you just block people?
And you know what he said after that? Then he sent me a picture, and I said, but you look great. Congrats. And then he said, that's nice of you to say. And then I said, bye. With a period. Bye. That's it. So I should have just blocked him?
Yeah. Yes, you should have.
I'm showing my cards that I don't get out much. Yeah, but I was just so surprised that he did that. Oh, one other time I got hit on by a guy.
At least he knew you were a lesbian.
Right. One other time, and this was like this was a tricky spot. I was talking to this guy, and I was like, your shoulders look great. I can tell you've been working out. You look awesome. And he looks at me and goes, oh, that's what's up, Emma. I didn't know you like black guys. And then I was like, oh, I don't like God. But I was like, wait, how do I respond to that? That was like a setup. I was like, oh, no, I like black guys. I'm gay. And he was like, all right.
I have a fun story. I went to The View.
Ooh.
And I got to meet Whoopi Goldberg. But can I tell you how crazy this story was? So first of all, my friend Alfredo and his boyfriend got us tickets.
That's
so
awesome.
There's 4 of us that went. 4 gays. Very typical for gay men to go to The View.
Yes.
Diana Ross was supposed to come this day. She didn't show up. So it was a full day of Hot Topics. Anyways, we walk in, and then the PA recognized me right when we walked in. He was like, oh my God, are you Matteo Lane? I was like, yeah. And then there was a weird woman in front of us, like really weird.
Like, you could just feel the crazy coming from the back of her head. Yeah.
So,
you know it. In New York, you get so in tune to this shit where someone's just got this energy and you're like, it's about to go. It's going to go down. And they're kind of calling attention to themselves wherever they can. Like, yes.
There was something off about her. Mm-hmm. So we go in, we sit down, and then they bring you up by groups to, like, how they're going to seat you, right? So, like, right as we're about to walk in and sit down, the security guard comes up to us and goes, no, you 4 have to go sit over there. And I was like,
what does that mean?
Okay. So then like
were they moving you up closer or to the back?
To the back.
Oh, that always happens to me too.
I know. So we sat down and I was like, all right, I guess whatever. We have the worst spots. I'm not really thinking about it. So as we're doing this, right? Like as we're sitting there, we're watching the show. The warm-up guy, who's a comedian, comes up to me like halfway through. He comes up and he was like, hey, Matteo. And I was like, oh, hi. He goes, hi, how's it going? I would have like spotted you out earlier, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I don't care. It's fine. And then he goes, so are you here to see Joy? And I go, what? He goes, did you come to see Joy? I was like, I mean, I love Joy, but like I came here with my gay friends got me tickets.
Right,
like,
I didn't come.
I don't know what you want me to say. It was Tom Kelly. And
nice.
I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I just wanted to, came with my friends. He goes, there's been a mix-up. I'll be right back. So I was like, okay. So then he runs away, and then as the show ends, everyone gets up, they leave, and so we're walking out, and Tom comes up to us with the stage manager or whatever, and she's like, hi, Matteo, just want to introduce myself. I worked on Colbert. We never met, but blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, hi. And then Tom's like, apparently this woman, which was the woman we were in line with, is a Joy stalker. And she was like showing people pictures of her with Joy yesterday, and I guess blamed you guys for being the stalkers.
What?
And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, but then she got kicked out. Like the story was still like kind of muffled. It was like, then she got kicked out, and she would like she's no longer allowed back at the View. But they felt so bad that we were got
Is
these
that
bad
why they,
seats.
Oh, so they moved you because they thought that you were them?
Stalkers.
Oh,
and so
wow.
I was like, okay. They felt so bad. They let us take pictures. Everyone left. They let us take pictures on set, and we talked to Sunny, and then we went upstairs and got to meet Joy. Whoopi.
What was Whoopi like?
The nicest. She was the nicest woman on the face of the planet. Is this even an interesting story?
I think
or am I like
interesting.
boring the shit out of everyone listening?
Not at all. I think that's crazy.
Well, it was cool because I was like, oh, wow, I came to the View and all of a sudden we're meeting Whoopi Goldberg, which is like the dream.
That's
but then
awesome.
it's also so funny because it's
Is
like...
she gay?
No.
Really?
No, she's not.
She's got a boyfriend?
I don't. I think she had a husband forever.
Did she?
Yeah.
I was kind of got a vibe.
Why, she reads gay?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
I feel like even she would admit that.
Yeah, she probably is someone that's like, I'm straight, but I feel the need to address that.
Right.
People are like, yes, you do.
Yeah,
yes,
I think so. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I met Whoopi and I went to Vegas.
I got to talk to Rachel Bloom on the star of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, but I hadn't talked to her the whole time because she's very, she's busy. She's executive producer, like writer, star of the show. Like she's wearing all the hats. Watching her work is it's amazing. Like I can't even believe
she's Barbra Streisand.
One person is doing all of these things, and she's like singing, and she's such a good actress too. So I spotted her alone at the craft services table, and I went up and was like, I'm just gonna quickly say hi and keep it moving. So I tapped her on the arm, and she didn't see me, and she goes, "What?" And I was like, ugh. And then she turns and sees me and goes, oh my God, I am so sorry. I thought that you were somebody else. I had just been saying that I just needed a minute to get something to eat. And then I thought that they were like badgering me, and we have like a repertoire where we like joke around and like snap at each other like that. I am so sorry. So it was like a case of where she was feeling bad. So then I got like a sweet deal because she was like, I would never talk to someone like that ever. And I was like, oh, it's okay. And then I started to get kind of nervous. And then she's like, so how's it going? And we're talking, and I was nervous while I was talking to her. So I just randomly started making a cappuccino, like for no reason, because I was making a coffee, and then we were like just engaging, and I was like, oh my God, I'm talking to Rachel Bloom. So I started like pressing buttons, and then the machine started going like... And then she was like, oh, I didn't even know you could make cappuccino. And I was like, yeah, me neither. And then we talked for a little while, and she's like, all right, I'm going to get back to set. I'm so sorry about that. And I was like, it's so all good. I'll see you around. And then I had this like fucking cappuccino, and I was like,
was the cappuccino good?
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't even think the thing made cappuccino. I think I was just like banging so many buttons because she was talking to me. But it was a case where sometimes someone thinks you're someone else, and then you get a sweet deal out of it.
I mean, that's what happened to me. I got to meet Whoopi Goldberg.
That's fucking
because they
awesome.
thought we were stalkers. I feel like I had therapy the other week, and we talked about dating, and I came to like an all-time low of like, God damn it. Like, I just, not to switch subjects,
no,
but this is something we've both been talking about privately.
Yes.
So, for me, I feel like...
is dating something that comes up a lot?
In therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, it'll be like my relationships come up a lot, obviously.
Well, I just brought it up because I was kind of upset after I had sex with the Magic Mike stripper.
Were you
I was just like, I don't want that.
Right.
I mean, I did. I mean, it was great. But it's also like, I can't keep this up. Like, at some point, I have to start.
Well, it feels empty and depressing. It's kind of like indulging in something that, like I remember when I used to, like, be, like, so into, like, cookies and food and stuff, which I still love.
I literally was going to say cake.
Cake, yeah. It's like where I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to eat this cake. Like, it's going to be so fucking awesome. And then I'd eat the whole thing, and then I'd feel, like, kind of depressed. Because I'd be like, I wish I hadn't eaten that, like, thing. So it's kind of like you get all excited for it, and then the letdown is you're, like, alone again, and the cake's all gone.
Right, and it's different than, like, just eating a cake as opposed to, like, making it and caring for it and giving it to people and saving it.
Taking it out to bringing it to dinner.
Bringing it to dinner. Having it be the centerpiece.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm not that deviant sex-wise, but like I have like a few guys I'll see pretty often, and I've been trying to like cut them off, you know, and
yeah, because you want to have like a clean slate when the right person comes around.
That's kind of how I feel, but that's too puritanical, like to assume that that's the way it's supposed to be.
Also, if you're just hooking up with those other guys and then you meet someone, they have to know you're going to cut it off. The time where it's like having them linger around is if they think something else is going on.
Well, the one guy that it's like a 4 years on and off. It's
wow.
like. I don't think it's never going to amount to anything.
Doesn't he have a boyfriend?
No, he's got, I'm assuming he's single.
So what's his, why wouldn't he want to like hang out and get to know
I think
you
he's
more?
Emotionally closed off.
See, my whole thing is like who I'm talking to. So I have a hard time talking to more than one person at once because like if I'm like sharing myself and like getting to know them, then I don't like doing that with a bunch of other people.
See, I'm always talking to multiple people. Not having sex with them, but just talking. A lot of them live in other countries, so it doesn't even matter.
That's kind of nice, actually.
Well, it's a false sense of, like, you know...
Yes. But distance is hard, too. And then, like, with casual dating, it's like you don't know... Like, when you're casual dating, how do you know to ask someone if they're seeing other people? Like,
you just ask.
Ooh, what do you say?
Well, it depends on how deep in dating you're going.
Because the person in Boston I've been going on dates, and then I was, like, going to ask her, but then I was like, is that weird?
No, I mean, how long have you been seeing her for?
Since like I don't know, since September.
That's a long time. You can clearly ask at that point if she's seeing with someone else. Don't you think?
I don't know. I was going to the other day, and then I didn't. I chickened out.
Why don't you just ask her? Does she listen to the podcast?
Sometimes.
Well, then ask her right now.
No.
Nope, I actually went to this guy's house yesterday that like we.
She's not. I can tell.
I was in the neighborhood by his house, and I texted him just to get dinner, and then we ended up just like getting naked and making out. Nothing past that.
That sounds awesome.
But also then I was like, I kept being like, I don't want to do this. I kept saying that. Not as in like you're doing something, not as in like a rape situation.
Just because you were like, I just don't want to have sex?
I just said, I was like, this is not fair. You have a boyfriend.
Oh, yeah!
But they're open.
Right.
But I was like, you have a boyfriend. This isn't fair because I can't pursue this.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not going to have sex with you, dude. I'll make out with you. Cool.
What about hand jobs?
But I mean... Please, what am I, at a bowling alley?
Does anyone do hand jobs anymore?
I think that that's step one. But anyway, so yeah, and then I feel bad that I even did that. I mean, I shouldn't feel bad. I should stop feeling bad about it. But then it is like this puritanical thing where it's like, oh, I better have a clean slate when the right guy comes along. Well, he's not coming along.
Well, if the right person does come along, then I think it becomes really easy to like wipe out all the other things, you know?
Meaning,
like if the right person
just
came
like
around,
chop them away.
Then you'd be like, well, I remember I had that I remember I was dating a couple people, and then the stripper. I remember when I met her, I was so intoxicated by her. Now this was not like a healthy like love thing, because I feel like when you like fall for someone like super quick and it's like some crazy whirlwind thing, that's not sustainable. So it's not good. Plus,
you don't think it's sustainable? Why?
The way her and I were, oh my God, it was like we had known each other before. This is a couple years ago. We'd known each other before. We'd gone on a couple dates, and I had her in my phone as "this girl's crazy." That was literally her name in my phone. Something's up. This girl's crazy. She wrote me like these really long poems. Like I was like, she's fucking nuts.
Anyone who writes you poems, you
like,
block away. But you probably give them a pep talk.
No, keep it up. It's not for me, but you do you. No, with her, I was like, block. Literally changed to "this person's crazy" in my phone. Then a couple years later, I ran into my friend Eli, who was like, "Hey, did you know that Dada-Da's a stripper now?" And I was like, "I didn't know that." And then she sent me like a topless photo and was like, "I heard you're in town." And I was like, "Well, yes, I am." So we met up and get coffee, and I'm all enticed by the stripper thing. And then she tells me she's doing other kinds of sex work. And at the time, I thought that was hot. And
come on, you still don't think it's hot right now?
Yeah, I guess now I do, but I don't know. Now
priorities are changing.
Yeah,
plus, you like this girl in Boston. That's
also,
why.
sex is like such a. I feel like I'm like much less sexual than I used to be. I gotta get my mojo back.
Well,
I used to be the king. Now I'm like Now I'm like a pauper. Not even.
I had the jester. How old are you?
31.
By the way, I've never seen anyone drink green tea from a can.
I want everyone to know I've got 2 green teas out. I've got
and
one
kombucha and
why
are
and
you
a coffee.
drinking so many liquids?
Because
I just
I'm trying
realized
to
there's
get
18
healthier.
different liquids in front of you.
Yes.
Well, you're drinking that much tea. You don't need the green tea and the coffee. That's both caffeine that's going to dehydrate you.
Oh, shit. Even when I try to be healthy, I screw it up.
Well, you don't need 2 cans of green tea. That looks like they wouldn't even give it to you on an airplane.
Well, but the stripper and I, then we like all of a sudden it was like this whirlwind because the sex was so crazy good. It made us then like jumpstart the rest of the relationship. And you know what I mean? And then that's not good because you want something that builds more casually. But when we first started, the other 3 people I was talking to, I was like, I met someone, it's over. And
then why am I talking to someone who lives in another state? They're going to come visit me, which I'm excited about, and they're a great guy. But then I'm also like...
But then they're going to go away.
Right. So
and
then
is hard.
I'm disappointing myself again.
Right, because it's like the day in and day out, and then it's like you're going to have to like travel all the way to see them, and then it puts a lot of pressure on each visit, because it's like, oh, it better be this like great magical visit, otherwise, like, do you want to put in all the work of the long distance?
Long distance is a strange way to date someone because you're right, there is a pressure on seeing each other, and it doesn't allow you the like casual, lazy, like... Thursday
Come over and
night.
watch a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's just hang out to hang out, or like let's just go. You know what I'm saying? Like it does put a.
It has to be hyper planned. Also, I think if anyone is in
it's expensive.
It's expensive. If anyone's in a long distance relationship and knows how to make it work, I would love advice on that. Like I'd be curious what people have to say. When I was in one that was working, it was because we had a end in sight. Like, I was dating someone that had moved to San Francisco, and it was like she was only going to be there for 3 months. Then she never moved back, and it was a whole thing. And that was when MySpace was around, and I was like stalking the girl she was then sleeping with on MySpace.
God, MySpace. Did you ever remember Zanga?
MySpace. No, what was that?
Zanga, there was like live journal in Zanga. And it was like, and my grammar was,
Your grandma was on Zanga?
My grammar was awful. I don't know how I learned grammar as a 20-year-old, not as a 7-year-old.
I remember live journals. I remember that stuff.
It was like right before Facebook. It was like you just sort of saw each other's. It was a way of, it was a step above way messages.
Could you imagine a time before Facebook?
I'm not a fan of Facebook.
Oh my God,
I don't really like Facebook. I don't go on it. People are like, why don't you have a fan page on Facebook? Because I don't like Facebook.
Ever since I like got access to technology, I was using it to explore stuff. I remember going on AOL and lying and saying I was a guy to have girlfriends.
Well, at the chat rooms, the gay and lesbian chat rooms.
No, I would go in straight ones and say I was a guy, and I did this like that was like my thing. Age, sex, location. I'd be like 18,
ASL.
18 male, 6-pack on the football team. I used to say this. I go, I'm on the team. I'm not the captain, but I'm a player.
Oh my God. I used to go on and say I was Britney Spears.
Oh my God.
And people would be like, no, you're not. Prove it, blah, blah, blah. And
be like, I swear to God, I really am.
Chat rooms are such a wild time because you're literally thrown into discussion with complete strangers.
Yeah, and why is everyone, like, and everyone's just going in, hi, hi, hi. Remember that? Pages of it?
Well, people didn't know how to use the internet back then.
I remember talking to these girls and having girlfriends, and then my favorite thing was there was one girl, and she was like, quote unquote, smoking hot, and she would always send me like pictures, and she'd be like, let's dirty talk, and we would do all this. And then so we were like, let's talk on the phone. So I'm lying to this girl, telling her I'm a guy.
On the phone?
She says, call me. I'm like, all right, I'm going to tell her that, come clean about me being a girl. I call her. It was a guy pretending to be a girl. So there's so many layers here, because it's like, we're both stupid enough that we thought getting on the phone was a good idea. Both of us are like, let's get on the phone. And then he's like, hello? And I'm like, hello? And then we're both like, son of a bitch. Isn't that another level? And I was like, God damn it. What do we do? And then he was like, should we get back online or is it ruined? I was like, oh, it's kind of ruined.
Well, speaking of
it's the best relationship of my whole life. Isn't it kind of romantic in a way? It's like real
just lying to each other?
Just real modern romance.
Well, I just watched the movie You've Got Mail on the plane.
Oh, that's a classic.
It's such a stupid movie. But it was just like they were so like, the internet, mysterious. I'm waiting for my email from New York 101. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? It's like nowadays.
Oh yeah, and then they met up and they hadn't really like seen each other before.
No, they knew each other because he brought in this new giant bookstore and she had the old bookstore and he brought her out of business and then he knew it was her and she knew it was him. She's a really bad actress, but I enjoy watching her. And then I thought to myself, what did you do to your face, Meg Ryan?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, really. And it's not even like, I mean, really, what did you do?
Did you see the...
Can you not reverse that?
I don't know. That's tough. That's a doozy. I mean, I don't know what I would do. I'd go to the island. I'd go to the secluded pregnancy island that I want to go to where no one can see me.
Why don't you just go back to the doctor and say, deflate?
Or
Is there like a button?
Delete,
or like one of those things like you pull out of an air mattress and watch it just, go down?
Did you see that Mariah Carey won that lawsuit?
I don't even know if it was a lawsuit. I think it was just 50. He just threw $50 million at her to just be like
$50 million.
He's a billionaire. That's nothing to. But for those who don't know, Mariah Carey was dating a billionaire from Australia like a year ago, and they broke up. And she wanted $50 million because of emotional damage, and also because of she, quote unquote, she missed tours in Brazil, and that would have been the money that she would have made. And so he had to pay her $50 million. They didn't even get fucking married, and she kept the ring, and the ring is like $3 million on its own.
That is the nagging skill. I mean, because I can actually
Although,
see
have you seen her lately?
No.
She looks good.
Really?
She's
got $50 million. She's probably fucking...
But she looks... Something happened between September and right now. She hasn't looked this good in a long time.
Like she's sobered up, maybe?
I don't know. The voice is still a little beef jerky, but like she's still lip syncing because I watch all like the YouTube stuff.
Right.
But she looks good.
Good for her.
She looks good. The body and the face and the hair. She's got to cut that fucking hair though.
She must have nagged that motherfucker.
Well, I think her lawyer's nagged.
I've been there where women just wear you down with the nagging. It's like they just
henpecking.
I've never known.
Are you a henpecker?
No, but the women. I mean, I'm tough in a relationship because I'm a lot, and I'm always like. Like I've got my own like shortcomings for sure. Bad at communicating, hard time with intimacy.
Why are you bad at communicating?
My heart chakra's all blocked up.
Oh, stop it with the heart chakras.
For sure.
Because you're drinking green iced teas or whatever, a kombucha, who knows the fuck kombucha is.
Also, my life's all over the place. My travel schedule, like I got tons. Those are the bad things in the relationship. But I'm like very supportive and like open minded. Those are the good things. But I'm not a nagger, but man, I've dated some fucking just coming at you, constant. And I know I'm the man in relationships because
you sit there, take it, and then go
every time
kick your television screen in.
Exactly, and every time I'm the one like, you know what, you're right.
Why are you agreeing to it then?
And then they go, don't agree with it. You're not even listening. That's dismissive. And I'm like, all right, you're right. I'm sorry. And they're like, you're not even listening. And then I'm like, and then I have to like come up and be like, all right, fine. I'm going to put on a show. I'll literally say something. I'm going to put on a show and I'm going to sincerely apologize to you. I am sincerely sorry from the bottom of my heart that, and then fill in the blank of the thing. I'm like, I'm sorry. And they'll be like, do you mean it? And I'm like, I do. And they'll be like, okay.
See, gays, you'll just hear the sound of a car driving away, and then you never talk to that gay man again.
Because that, to me, that sounds great.
No, it's not great. It's
Well, a constructive argument is like, I'm pretty sure that it's like if we were going to have a constructive argument, you go, Matteo, you made me feel this way, and then you say, you made me feel this way, and then I go, I understand, and then I think we talk about it.
Well, I don't even know if you say, you made me feel this way. I think you say, I feel this way because.
Oh.
You never want to put that kind of pressure on someone, say, you made me feel this way. It's like, oops. I feel this way because of this and this, and then allow them to explain why something they did perhaps made you feel that way.
Right, and you have to...
I mean, that's in theory what you're supposed to do. But.
And then you have to trust and respect them because you want to listen to what they have to say. Because if some of the people... Yeah. But sometimes
it's been so long. The last relationship I was in, there was never those adult conversations never happened.
Also, sometimes it'll be like I've done such stupid stuff that like just listening to them re-say it, they'll be like, okay, so let me get this straight. You lied about where you were, and instead of coming to see me, you went and slept with someone you met online who is actively a hooker who also lives next door to me. So on your way to her house, you had to walk by my house while texting me that you can't come over. Did I get all that right?
And you're like, get off my back.
And I'm like, yeah, I guess you got that right. And they're like, and what do you have to say for yourself? I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, that's what you have to say for yourself? I'm like, what can I say to God? No,
I'm just not a good liar. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm a bad liar.
When it gets to that point where you're lying, though, like, you don't want to be that person.
Sort of on topic, how do you deal with something when you're in a professional setting, but you're angry about something? How do you communicate that?
Ooh. You mean like you're like sizzling? Yeah, you're sizzling, but is the person there, or does it have to be through text?
Can I tell you what happened?
Yeah, tell me.
I went to New Orleans this weekend to do a pilot.
And Matteo, you were dressed in drag for the pilot?
I was dressed in drag.
Nice. You've been doing that a little bit recently.
Literally, this is the second time in my life I've done
never mind.
it. And I also, it was half drag, half out of drag. And I'm not comfortable in wigs and makeup. I don't like stuff on my face. But I was doing it for my friend Molly Austin, who I love, and Shamika. I was like, of course. But they put me in, okay. They had a non-drag queen put me in drag.
Right.
So I was basically just a man with woman's makeup.
Which is different, because drag is like a whole
It's
overblown...
supposed to be this exaggeration. And it said I looked like a truck stop hooker. And they put a boa on me. They tried putting hip pads in me, but they were literally just like foam circles. And I was like, I look like I have like cancer of the hip. Right. I mean, it wasn't a good look. You know what I mean? And anyway, they were supposed to glue down my eyebrows. They didn't do that. And I really looked like shit. And then afterwards, no one was there to help me get the makeup and stuff off.
Are there pictures that we can see?
Yeah, I'll put pictures up. And I looked like Dolly Parton if she was more Mexican.
Oh, no.
And then a piece of my hair got ripped out from the wig when trying to take it off. And I was like losing my mind.
Yeah, I'd be real pissed.
But I didn't know how to and afterwards I kept apologizing. I was like, sorry if I was this way, sorry if I was that way, sorry I was this way, sorry I was that way, because I didn't want to come off like an asshole. But also in my head I'm like, you just put me at like 3 hours of makeup. I look like shit. I have hair ripped off of me, and she put too much eyelash glue, so it's like stuck all over my eyelashes. Like, I was kind of pissed.
I think you should.
And I looked like I was about like, hey boys, you having a good time? I mean, I looked like you know.
What kind of outfit did they have you in?
Like a Forever 21 1994 like crop top with like a. I know, like shit.
At least you got the makeup off, because you can't be walking
around heels.
You can't be walking around New Orleans with that on.
Actually, I had to do I was supposed to do some public thing, and so we were waiting for the trolley to come by, and everyone kept walking by, and they were like, "Can I take a picture?"
Really?
Yeah, they're like, "Only in New Orleans," and like, drive away.
Should we get to some questions?
Do we have time for a question?
Oh my!
We have like 10 minutes ish for a question. I also kind of wanted to see if I could call Bob the drag queen and see if he could explain my type of man. Because I said I was going to do that on the other week, and I didn't do it. Let's see if he's home.
Oh, yeah. People have been asking to get him on.
And he's in Europe, so it's going to be like a weird...
Your call has been forwarded to an automated...
Never mind. He's not there.
What's Bob the drag queen up to?
He's like in Europe or whatever.
Good for him.
Any new mother stories?
Okay, well, so let's see. Well, this is something my mom's been asking a lot, and I'm not quite sure how to take it. So... I've told her a little bit about, like, dating stuff, and, you know, because my sister has a baby, so she's always like, do you ever think you'll have a baby? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck I'm going to end up with that's going to, like, I'm kind of like, I don't know, Mom. Like, I really don't know. And she's asked this multiple times. She'll go, well, this is going to sound really bad. She goes, well, why do you think someone would like you? And I go, what do you mean? Why would someone like me? She's like, well, what do you think did like? And then I mentioned I'd been going on a date with someone in Boston. She's like, why do you think this person likes you? I was like, I don't know. I'm fucking charming. She's like, I don't say that to my mom. I'm like, why do you ask that? And she's like, well, you are very charming, but my mom also thinks I'm famous now, even though she hates entertainment. She's like, you have to make sure that someone doesn't like you because you're famous. I'm like, well, that's easy to do. I'm not famous.
Well, you're doing well. I mean, you're not J-Lo.
But if someone wanted to date someone because they were famous, I wouldn't be the person for that. You know, so she's like, you know, maybe you got to make sure that someone doesn't like you because you're famous. And I'm like, I'm sure of that, because if they like me for that reason, they'd also be like
delusional,
impaired. And she's like, all right, well, you know.
But you're doing really well, Emma. People recognize you. Do you ever get recognized on the streets?
A couple, yes, every now and then from the radio show, which is so. Every time that it's happened, it's been like. There was a time where I just got a facial, so my face was like all blotchy, and I was like sitting down on the side of the street on my phone, like screaming into it about something, and this girl walked by, and the tagline of the radio show I used to do was, hey girl, hey. So this girl walks by, stops, look at me, and I'm like, oh, it's because I'm being so loud, and she goes, hey girl, hey. I hang up the phone, jump up, and go, I look like this because I just had a facial. I'm sorry. And she's like, it's all good, girl. And I was like, see you around. And then that was it. But it's getting recognized from a radio show is... And you know what? It's been a couple times, and I love it if someone recognizes you, and someone said before, like, keep doing your thing. I've had people say that, and I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're saying it because, like, while they see me on stage, they're like, oh, she's about to go down. But there's been people that are like, yeah, keep it up. Like, you know, that... When someone says when they enjoy something, I love when someone reaches out for that.
We should do a live show sometime.
I would love to. Matteo just got passed at a place called the Comedy Cellar, which is huge. And if you're like, it's a huge thing. It's just such an honor to be in there and performing there. And it's like, I really think it's a testament too, because the woman that books there is just, it's no frills. It's like from the heart what she responds to as funny. And then, you know, there was like some controversy about, people are always like, oh, lineups aren't diverse or whatever. My experience there, they've been profoundly, does an amazing job. So it's just awesome that he's in there.
Well, I'll tell you about the audition process.
Yes.
Because you have to walk downstairs.
It's the scariest audition process. Well, did you feel scared?
I
actually wasn't. I don't know why I was. I think I got so scared by this other thing that I did. I was so scared at the Just for Laughs audition, this big festival, that I was so fucking scared about that. And then I wasn't happy with how it went, but I was like, I'm still performing, that I was like, you know what? Nothing's going to, no matter how this goes, I'm going to keep on going.
I had just done Blackbird in 1977 with Bob Fosse. And I remember being really nervous for that because I had done a lot of cocaine. And so when you do a lot...
what happens when you do too much?
Well, you start to urinate. And you start to panic. I didn't remember recording it, but I look back now, and I'm not going to say it was bad, but I will say...
How did they react when you walked into audition?
I walked in naked and asked if that's where my diaper was. And they said,
you pass.
Yeah, for that reason, I'm out.
Oh my God, I've had that in my head so much.
Oh, because I kept finding Barbara's in New Orleans, by the way.
Really? I love it.
I want to tell you a story.
Can we get you on the show? Is there any way to get you on the show so you can like just do that to your face?
My faggotry?
You could be like faggotry in a jar.
Well, the Cellar, we have like 5 minutes, but the Cellar audition was awesome, and Seton Smith was hosting, and now I can be like, hey, come watch me at the Cellar.
Yeah.
Oh, also, December 18th, I will be performing at Alan Cummings' bar in New York City.
Ooh, that's fun.
We're doing a Christmas show. Me, Melissa Villaseñor, and Henry Kapersky.
Woo! Oh, he's hilarious. He was on crack. Sorry, all the things I'm drinking, I just hiccup. But
and she spilled all over herself.
And I spilled all over myself. Henry, but I didn't get anything on the audio equipment. Henry is so fucking funny. He was in Crashing, because I've got an episode of Crashing coming out.
Henry Kapersky?
Yeah, he plays Pete's friend. He used to do improv.
Henry Kapersky.
Red
I don't
hair?
think you're thinking... No, you're thinking of the wrong person. But Henry Kapersky is really funny and awesome. I just don't think he was on an episode of Crap. But December 18th, come watch me at my Christmas show with Melissa Villaseñor and Henry Kapersky. And follow me on Instagram. Oh, my Snapchat show, Ghost Hunt's going really well.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
People are really responding to it.
Now I got to find out which goddamn Henry that is.
Yes.
Because it's definitely Henry with a K that I'm thinking of. But... we'll find it, I guess, when we're not on. But yeah, that show sounds awesome.
Yeah. Was this a good episode, or was it kind of sad?
I don't know. We want feedback. Whatever you guys are thinking, because we appreciate you so much. And we got some exciting guests coming up.
Yeah, we do. So,
and we got questions to answer. We really just wanted to catch up this time. But, man, I just couldn't appreciate the people that listen.
Oh, my God. You guys are great. We're ironically
much.
number 69 on the Comedy iTunes chart. Which I know is not like
Wouldn't
number
have it
10,
any other
but
way.
It's great. I have no idea how else to promote besides Instagram.
Just
so
doing what we're doing. And we're going to get some pictures taken for you guys.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah. Get some
All
pictures.
right, Emma, it's good to see you.
Wait, I got one last question.
Oh, what?
Are you into 69ing? I couldn't help myself.
I'm
not. It's too much going on.
It's a lot of work.
And I'm always thinking about the other person, so then I'm this and that and this and that. Yeah, how do two guys do it? That seems like just like a lot.
No, you make it happen. Same way two girls do it. Just something sticking out at you.
What if one person's penis is way bigger than the other one?
That happens.
And then you're just like they have to just like contort their body so it's like balanced out more?
Kinda. You make it work.
All right. We got a good visual to end on.
All right.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.